Hey, it's Bill, and you're tuned into the Pennsylvania Rock Show. 3 questions and a song, episode number 87, where the title of the podcast says everything you need to know, except for it doesn't. It is not going to be 3 questions. It may be more like 300. With me on episode number 87 are Nick and Ashton from Unwanted Downfall. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up? What's up?
See, I was telling you the whole backstory before we came on the air, and 642 episodes sticks a little more than 87.
Oh yeah.
But together, that's a lot of talking.
Oh yeah. A lot of talking.
So, let's start off with a cliche, easy question before we warm you up and throw you into the fire with the normal questions.
Okay.
So, Unwanted Downfall. Where did that name come from?
Okay, so this is our old name used to be All Above, and this is when Ashton wasn't in the band. So we have our drummer Ben, but he couldn't make it. He's working right now. So we were talking in this chat. We were coming up with a new name because we were like, All Above doesn't stick right for the kind of music we make. So we were coming up with names. Ashton came up with something with I want to say it was like Thieves Downfall.
Yes, which is a reference to Harry Potter.
And then and then I came up with Ben came up with something that had downfall in it. And then Ben, like 30 seconds later, was Unwanted Downfall, and we all were like, yeah, that sticks.
All right, let's go back to the Harry Potter reference for a second, though, because I should know that, and it completely went over my head.
So it is in one of the later books. It's when Harry, Hermione, and Ron go to Gringotts, and they're like going to steal something, and I think they get dressed up as someone or like have a cloaking spell, and the thing that stops them is the Thieves Downfall, and I've always thought that was like a cool band name.
Cool.
I didn't even know that.
Now I have to go look that up because I can't believe I don't remember it. My wife probably does. I'll ask her when we're done. She'll probably be like, oh yeah, it's anyway, not my daughters. They're not that far into the books yet. And they're not allowed to watch the movie until they see until they read that book.
I don't think I've ever watched any of the movies, I'm gonna be honest.
I will be 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, his dog's going off.
All right, so here's where I put him on the spot, and he doesn't know it because he's not here. Tell me about an embarrassing moment that's happened in the band that Ashton caused.
Oh, I got the perfect. So we were playing You want me to still say it?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, so we were playing a show. It was at Steamworks Creative is in Gibsonia, I believe. Yep. And we're sitting there, and we're about to get our gear out. We were like testing our gear. I just got a new guitar that day. I was tuning it. We were in the car.
I think he just figured out what the question is. Keep going.
I know at this moment
and we closed everything, and then we're chilling, watching one of the bands back inside. We come outside, and we're about to like go grab our gear, and then we grab all the doors. They're all locked, and then we go and try to find the key. The key's in the car. So his girlfriend had to go to his house, drive all the way back up to where we were, grab the key, and then we ended up like playing the show on time and everything. So it all worked out, but that's got to be one of the most embarrassing things that he's done.
Hey, Ashton, it's only fair. Tell me something that Nick has done that's embarrassing for the band.
So there was a show at my mom's work. It was like a summer kickoff event. And he brought one guitar, hadn't changed the strings in like who knows how long. Strings break. He has to leave the work, go like 20-30 minutes back to my house, grab strings, retune, grab another guitar, and then he comes back, and like by the time he gets back, everyone's gone.
I would like to say the ride only took 10 minutes because it was your dad driving.
He does drive pretty fast.
Okay, so Ashton's dad is now disowning Ashton and not allowing Nick in the house. Okay, so if you could play any venue in the world, what venue would you want to play at?
All right, I got mine. So one of my favorite bands is Alkaline Trio. I've been a fan of them for like years now, and it's I'm pretty sure the venue doesn't like they don't do shows there anymore. But some of their first shows, I want to say, it was called the Fireside Bowl or something like that. It's in Chicago, and I think that that'd be a pretty cool place to play at. Just from that was where they started, so I'd like to like play where they started.
You want to cover that one, Ashton, or?
I don't have anywhere I'd rather play. Stage AE would be cool, but other than that, I got nothing.
All right, so when you guys are in Chicago, see what I did there? When you're there, make sure you stop at Buddy Guy's Legends.
Okay.
You know who Buddy Guy is?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% certain.
See, I'm going to educate you guys for a moment. So Buddy Guy is a blues guitarist who is probably in his 80s now.
Oh, okay.
Very, very legendary. He has Grammys. He's in Halls of Fames. He actually lives upstairs, and he owns this restaurant that has a venue in it.
Okay.
My brother and I went there, and while we were eating lunch, there was a guy sitting on stage playing acoustic blues. It was awesome. So you have to check that out while you're in Chicago.
Okay.
And maybe
when we are.
And maybe you'll luck out and Buddy will be downstairs. He was not downstairs when I was there.
That would be pretty cool.
So Metallica has played in Antarctica, and Kiss has played in a bay in Australia to great white sharks. What non-traditional venue would you like to play at?
I gotta think about that one.
I want to be the first band to play in space. That'd be interesting. But something
on Mars
more,
or on the moon?
We'll be a bit more realistic. We'll say the moon.
All right. So now I have to turn to science teacher for a second. So do you know how sound works?
No.
All right. So there's particles in the air, right?
Okay.
And when you're playing something, the vibrations from your instruments are making those particles move. And that's how sound travels. You have to play somewhere where there's particles to move.
What if we went all digital?
So you're gonna broadcast it like over Bluetooth or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that answer.
But something more realistic would be like put a trailer on the back of a truck and go somewhere random and just start playing.
Ooh, in Area 51.
Oh, I like that answer.
We might get like a minute in there, and then we'll probably get like,
and then no one will see you again.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll become part of the lore.
That's how we'll get famous.
Oh,
the band that played in Area 51.
All right, so that popped a question into my head, and you can't answer playing at Area 51. Okay, so I used to teach social studies, and I was flipping through the book, and I found this guy who died in like 1958, and he looks exactly like my college roommate, who is currently alive, for the record. And I sent him a message and asked him what he was doing in my social studies book. And I'm not going to tell you what he said, but the question is, years from now, I'm flipping through a social studies book, and I find Unwanted Downfall in the social studies book. How did you get there?
Oh, that's a hard one because I don't know what we could do to get in there. Got to think of a good one.
Yeah.
Ashton, this is something that you would answer. You would have a perfect answer for this.
That's maybe true, but right now he's sitting there going, I can't believe Nick got me to do this.
Yeah.
See?
Hey, no, that's what Ben would be like. If Ben was here,
Yeah.
he'd say a maximum of 3 words. It'd be like, "Hi, I'm Ben." That's all you'd hear.
That's all you get from him anytime you talk to him.
Honestly, I don't really have I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
It will be somewhere in music, like biggest rock band. We'll see. They'll be talking about music and how to find it, and then they'll be us because we're just that good. No, we're not.
You're not supposed to do that. You're trying to sell your band.
Come on, give us a little hope here.
Yeah, we'll be like Blink-182. They always crapped on themselves.
Okay. I know I said that the questions I was going to ask would get normal answers, but odd questions. And I kind of haven't done that yet. And I'm getting there. But I have to know this one. This one has to be easy for you guys. What is the best pizza you've eaten because you're a musician?
Ooh, I think the best pizza would have to be the only pizza we've ate while we're doing music stuff. We just played a battle of the bands at Mr. Small's Funhouse. We got second place, so that's pretty cool. But we went. It's in Millville, so we were gonna go to this cafe, and then it ended up being closed. So we went to this pizza place. It's called Iron Forge Pizza, I think. The pizza there is ridiculously expensive. Like we're talking a box about this big for $15. So we bought 2 of them. It was probably one of the best pizzas I think I've ever had.
It was really, really good. But that wasn't like the only pizza that we've ever had as musicians.
What other pizza?
I just remembered there was one time, like one of our first practices, we ordered pizza and just devoured an entire pizza.
It was
just us 3.
Boondo's. We got pizza and wings. I will say probably that was pretty good, but I think that Iron Forge pizza was probably the best pizza I've had.
It beats it by
being a musician.
so much.
Now I'll ask a question that will get us some information about your band. All right, so you guys are out on your first tour. For some reason, you hired me to drive your tour bus. While we're out on tour, what is the soundtrack in between shows going to sound like? So what bands are we listening to?
Deftones.
Probably a bit of Deftones.
Nick.
Yeah, that's me. I'd like a little bit of Motley Crue to hype us up a little bit. Like Kickstart My Heart, that always gets me going. Mm-hmm. That's like the song we played like before our first show, and it got us all into it. So say that. A bit of Blink-182.
Alkaline Trio. Can't forget them.
And some 3 Days Grace. Probably that. That's probably most of it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
We agree on, at least.
I am willing to drive you still. I like those bands. Oh man. Are any of your parents listening right now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot, but I'm going to make a caveat just in case they are listening.
I'm pretty sure they aren't. My mom's working right now.
Okay. The question is, who has supported you the most as a musician, but you're not allowed to name your parents because that's a de facto one.
Dang.
So you have to tell me something. Because clearly they're going to be towards the top of the list, so I'm eliminating them.
Okay.
So you can tell them that I wouldn't let you say that, and now you can tell me somebody else.
Probably either our friend Connor or our friend Eddie.
I was going to say either Connor or Eddie and Ryan from Shell Shock Multimedia.
Oh, yeah, him too. They've been Ryan's the one that we played sound for him one time, or he did sound for us at one of our shows in Uniontown, and that's how we got into our Battle of the Bands and whatnot, which is how we got our first song out. But our 2 friends, Eddie and Connor, I'd probably put them equal because they've went to like all of our shows and are always there.
They equally hype us up just as much and support us no matter where we're at.
Um, how did the band form?
Okay.
Do you want to start with all above?
I guess I should start with all above. So me and Ben started a band. This is end of seventh grade, probably start of eighth. I'm a senior now, so 5 years ago. Um, I got into guitar and he got a drum set. And we've been best friends since like third grade. So I was like, let's start a band, and he was like, okay. So we started that. We had Connor. We had him as our bassist for a couple years, and then he decided to leave the band after a while. Got him back. Then he left again. And then we forced Ashton to learn bass around
No,
2
you're
years
forgetting
ago.
one important part.
What part?
While Connor was still in the band,
oh,
I
wow.
sang for them for like a week.
Yeah, that too. And then it just kind of stopped with him singing. And then Connor left, and we made Ashton learn bass, and it's been Unwanted Downfall ever since.
Nick texted me. He was like, tomorrow I'm bringing you a bass. You're learning it now. That's it.
I mean, it's kind of how I started doing. Well, not started. I started getting paid to do band photography. Jonna from First Angel Media mailed me a camera and said, "You're doing this." I had been taking photos, but with not so great equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So she sent me a good camera and said, "Now do this." And she was right. Let's see. Oh man, this one. Have you guys seen Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Oh God, I have a while ago, but Ashton probably know about it.
Okay. Because that is definitely older than you.
Yeah.
So if you were leaving a gig and there was a DeLorean sitting there with its door open and a flux capacitor in the back, which means you can borrow it and bring it back and nobody will ever know because you can pick the exact same time to come back. There. So now you're not stealing. Borrowing. What time in history are you going back to, and what band are you going to hang out with?
Oh God, that's a good one.
Okay. So I would either go to Descendants era, like when they were first playing shows, or recently I've seen a live that Rage Against the Machine did in like a record shop, and I would really like to go see that live.
I'd probably pick what year would it be? It'd be like 1993-ish, like right when Blink 182 was starting their first shows, like little punk shows. I'd like to see them when they were first a band.
So in 1993, I was like Nick's age. Actually, slightly younger. I would have been 93. Depending, I would assume it's probably summer of 93, right?
Yeah, probably.
So I would have been going into my junior year.
Okay, yeah, a year younger.
Now that I told you, my son is 14, to give you an idea of what this age gap is tonight. Let's see. Let's stick with movie references. So if you're sitting on a bench holding your box of chocolates and your musical idol comes and sits down beside you and says, you can ask me one question. Who you're talking to and what question are you going to ask them?
Musical idol. Okay. Trying to think of who it would be, because I got a lot of idols, like musically wise.
Well, I mean, you can do a couple if you want.
I'll do.
I thought I would have known who exactly you would have picked.
No. There's a good three or four I'd probably talk to. It'd be like I'd probably pick. I'd probably do Tom DeLonge. I'd I'd want to. You said a question, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'd probably ask him something to do with the one of the reasons why he wrote this one song. It's called "Rite of Spring." It's from Angels and Airwaves, and it's that song. Its song just has a lot of meaning to me. It's like really nostalgic. So I'd like to ask him why he wrote that and what it's about.
Okay, Ashton, how about you?
I've got nothing. I want to say probably
I feel like you would be like what's his name? Fat Mike from No Effects. Is that his
oh
name?
yeah. I didn't even think about him. Yeah.
Yeah. What? But what are you asking him?
How did the
How do
cat
I
get so fat?
Is that what you started to say, Nick?
No, I was gonna ask. I was gonna say he'd probably ask, "How do I get good at bass?" But we'll keep it from getting into a fight. No.
All right, so that kind of leads me to another question, but it's probably another learning moment for you guys. Do you know who Robert Johnston is?
No.
I figured.
Again, the name is familiar, but I don't know exactly who.
So it's another blues guitarist.
Okay.
He was terrible and kept trying, like he'd go up on stage when bands would take their breaks and try and play, and the bands would chase him away. And then he disappeared from the scene for about a year, and he came back and he was unbelievably good. And the legend behind it is that he sold his soul to the devil to become a good guitar player. You have to look him up. He is actually really good, but it's also really old, so you're going to hear the recording differences.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, if you're standing at the crossroads, like Robert Johnson supposedly did, to sell your soul to the devil, what are you asking for in return?
Ooh.
Ashton is really sitting there thinking, I can't believe he got me into this interview.
Probably. Right. Write good lyrics. That's mine. There's like a once in a lifetime moment I get good lyrics in my head. So if I could do that all the time, it'd be set.
I'd have to ask him just how to be a good musician.
So get
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a little tip there. It's practice.
You got us there.
Don't sell your soul for that. Not to be told to practice. Let's see. My references are way older than you guys, but have you seen the movie Rockstar?
No.
Okay. So that's now your homework assignment.
Watch Rockstar.
Okay.
Watch
Rockstar. It is a movie loosely based on Tim Ripper Owens, who lives in Ohio. He was in a tribute band, and the singer from Judas Priest quit, and the tribute band was a tribute band of Judas Priest. So they ended up hiring Tim Ripper Owens to take his place, and he recorded like 2 albums with them. But the reason I say the movie is loosely based on that is because they took some liberties with the story, and Judas Priest refuses to acknowledge that it is their story because of the liberties. But anyway, my question for you is, if you were in a tribute band and the situation came up where you had a chance to actually join the band that you were doing a tribute for, would you do it?
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'd decide a little bit, but most likely, yeah.
It'd be a bit weird being like way younger than the rest of them, but it would work.
Okay. You can invite, now keep in mind you have a DeLorean, so it can be anybody in history because we haven't given that back yet.
Okay.
You can invite any 4 people to dinner. Who's going to eat dinner with you?
Oh,
Do they have to be real or can they be fiction?
Oh. Well, I mean, the DeLorean's fictional, so I guess we can go fiction.
All right.
Well, the DeLorean that time travels.
Not universe travel or just specifically time travel?
Okay, who are you referring to? I have to know now.
I was thinking Tyler Durden from Fight Club because that is like my absolute favorite movie.
oh God, yeah.
Who are your other 3?
Tyler Durden, Fat Mike, Mark Hoppus, and I got to think about the last one. Come back to me on that one.
I think I got my 4. I think Ozzy Osbourne, Nikki Sixx, who did I just have in my head? Oh, Kurt Cobain, and Lane Staley. Probably those 4. That'd be a good dinner.
He didn't use up much time, Ashton. Did you get your 4th one? If not, we can just move on.
Van Gogh.
Oh, nice. Have you seen Motley Crue live?
No, I didn't get the chance to see them. I was very mad. This would probably be the only chance too.
They're touring again, but Mick will not be on tour.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I have seen them live twice. The first time I saw them was on the Carnival of Sins tour, which was 2004.
Did they sound good then?
They did.
Well, specifically, did Vince sound good?
Both nights I saw them, they sounded good.
Okay, because I know that Vince's vocals can be like iffy.
Carnival of Sins was probably the oddest concert I ever went to. There were a lot of odd things going on, like on the monitors and like people that brought equipment out to them. I am not going into details. If you guys want to Google it or YouTube it, you do that, but I'm not telling you.
Okay.
Anyway, and then that I went to see them that time with my brother, and then my brother and I can't remember who else was with us, but my wife went the second time. And
was that the one that just happened?
No, it was
okay.
I don't even know what year. They toured with Kiss.
Oh, okay.
Huge Kiss fan. And a couple songs into Motley Crue's set, my wife turned to me and she said, "I don't care what you do. I am never coming to another Motley Crue concert with you again. Not even if it's to see Kiss." So
that's understandable.
So that's my quick story. My wife is not a Motley Crue fan.
See, I've probably watched The Dirt about 100 times. So
yeah,
I felt kind of let down by The Dirt.
Yeah, a little bit, but
because I feel like they edited a lot of stuff that happened out. Because I feel like there's no way that was all they did.
Oh yeah, and I think one of the reasons they did that is probably they probably weren't allowed to show a lot of what they did.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was like, I think it was worse than that.
Oh, definitely. I remember this was like I started watching it right when like lockdown happened, and me and my friends, I swear it was like an every night ritual where we'd stay over each other's houses and watch The Dirt.
I think at one point, God,
I think we forced you to watch it.
Yeah, you did. At one point during the summer, it was like on my TV for a week straight. I swear.
So believe it or not, that actually brings up another question that I ask. You guys are suggesting them. You don't even know it. Okay, so down the road, they decided to make a biopic about Unwanted Downfall. Who is going to play each of you in the movie? Nick's face there. Go back and rewatch this part of the video.
I gotta think of people. I don't. So we're talking about like actors that would play us.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Machine Gun Kelly played Tommy Lee. Who's gonna play you?
Oh God, I don't know anybody that looks anywhere near me. Well, I would say that none of them really look exactly like how Motley Crue looked, so it doesn't matter that much. Ooh. I don't know. I really like Johnny Depp, and I think that'd be cool to have him do a movie, be me in a movie, and he plays guitar, so it kind of works out.
I mean, yeah, you do kind of look like Johnny Depp.
I get
If you like squint and tilt your head a little bit.
He might need to use the DeLorean to get to the point where your ages match up.
I got
would
nothing
play
for
you,
this one.
Ashton. Someone I don't think there's many people that look like you.
No. I don't think there's anyone willing enough to dye their hair as many times as I have.
That's true. The phases of Ashton's hair is a scary one.
So, do you guys want another quick story?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So, it's Crazy Hair Day at school today. And I don't normally have a lot of hair. As you can see right now, I don't have any. So, for Crazy Hair Day, I shaved my hair off and wrote the word hair across the back of my head.
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
So that was today. And then my wife told me to go to the store on my way home, and I had the word hair on the back of my head.
Did you get any weird looks?
You know what? I found my Penguins tassel cap in the car, and I wore it.
Should have just went into that store loud and proud with hair on the back.
I almost did. I got out of the car and I was looking at the hat and I'm like, I can't go in there without that. I went back and grabbed it. Now I will say on Monday was pajama day and I went to a store wearing my pajamas. So
that's pretty normal.
That's not too bad.
It's not normal. It's not normal for me, but yes, you do see people do that.
Half the people I see come into my store wearing pajamas, so that wouldn't be anything weird.
It should be noted that when I got to the cash register, the lady working was like, "So it's pajama day at school today," so they know who I am.
Oh yeah.
That was not the store I would have had hair on the back of my head. That was a different one. Anyway, what is? I recently, last week, covered a show for First Angel Media, which we were talking about earlier, half covered Halloween. And the theory behind that show is like the one I was at was an Ozfest. So all the bands had to cover a band from an Ozfest show.
Yeah.
If you were going and then play their own music too. So if you were able to pick a band to half cover, who would you half cover?
Oh God. I feel like that's like 3 bands it could come down to. I feel like it'd either be like, well, what 3 are we thinking, Ashton? Because we might be thinking of one different band. Because I think we got 3 days. Oh, okay, that's the one we're thinking a bit differently. I was thinking Alkaline Trio and 3 Days Grace.
Yep. I was going to say either 3 Days Grace or Deftones.
I was going to put Deftones instead of Blink. I'd probably say we'd probably do 3 Days Grace.
Yeah. That's
the most towards our sound, so it makes sense.
The Deftones were covered at that show.
Yeah.
So that's a new question. First time I asked that one, you guys got a new one.
All right.
Just for the record, the Pennsylvania Rock Show this week is a comedy edition where a guy is in character and he was interviewing me, and he a lot of my questions around on me, so I understand where you guys are right now.
You finally got a taste of your own
I
medicine.
did. Except everything was he was doing a Russian accent. And
Oh God.
when he asked me the pizza question, he asked me the best borscht that I've had, which I've never had. But so I get it. In fact, on the question about sitting down for dinner, I said to him, I'm starting to rethink asking him this question, and then I asked it the very next show I did. Okay, let's talk about your song real quick, since I've had you on the air for like 36 minutes. So you guys just released Pain, Greed, and War. Why don't you give me? I say that your MTV moment, but MTV probably hasn't played music while you guys were alive.
I think a little bit.
Probably, I feel like the mid 2000s. I feel like they did. I could be totally wrong though.
All right, so tell me about your song.
Oh, okay. So I remember writing this song vividly. I was very mad one day, just done with everything. I probably had a really bad day at work, if I'm thinking right, because people at work just anger me a lot. I came home and I was thinking about a lot of things. This is when the stuff with abortion happened and everything. So a lot of people were like left and right about it all, going at it. When all one of the lines in there, like the fires and the disasters, like how we have like a lot of big wildfires that are ruining the planet. And I was writing and I was like, well, let's make a song. I want to make a song about how like the way that we treat the earth and whatnot. So I started writing, and it's about like how like big, like I'd say like big politicians, like our leaders in the world, like how we treat our world not good. And it's not even like the big leaders of the world. It goes down to us as well. And not saying us three, but like people that are like at our level as well don't treat the world right. And I'd say it's probably like our deepest song for one of them.
Yeah,
It's our only political song, if you want that, probably.
technically.
But yeah, I don't think we have any other songs that get like kind of into that. So the songwriting process was fun. I think that was like one of the first times that Ashton's like fully wrote like a bass riff, and it's
Yeah.
good. Like that's my favorite bass part ever that we've made, and I think it's one of my favorite bass lines like ever now. I love it. And
It's definitely
what?
one of the best that I've written.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. Ben came up with some really good drums, like the intro right at like with the hi-hat and the ride, I think is like a lot of people come up to us like when they're talking about our song, they're like, I love that part, like it's really intricate and nice. So I think it's our most complex song to date, and I think it shows like what our sound's gonna be like.
So how many originals do you guys have right now?
Oh, probably around 10 to 12.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Just so
Some
you know-
aren't like fully finished.
Just so you know, I just set you up for another question.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take a moment and we're going to listen to Pain, Greed, and War by Unwanted Downfall. Sorry about that. And we'll be right back. For those of you that are watching us live, you don't actually get to hear the song right now. You will have to wait until November 1st if you want to listen to it on this show. You go to buildascene.com and it'll be right on the front page. Or you can go to the websites online that we're going to mention later that you'll be able to find the song at. And if you've been watching that little scroll bar at the bottom, I bet that you can find it there. Little confirmation. Okay, so we're going to come in. It's your GoDaddy site.
Yeah, I was like looking, what is that? Because it's too far away.
All right. So now we're going to come in as if we just listened to the song, and I'm going to ask you probably 3 more questions. So now it is going to be 3 questions in the song.
Okay.
All right. That was Pain, Greed, and War by Unwanted Downfall. Ashton and Nick are hanging out with me tonight. Drummer Ben is at work. Sorry, Ben.
Walmart got him.
So the question I set up right before we came into the song. So there's an apocalyptic event that happens on Earth, and it wipes out all but a handful of people, and all but one song from every band. Which one of your songs should survive and help repopulate the Earth?
Oh God.
The song has to repopulate the Earth.
It has to help repopulate the Earth. Take
I
that
knew this
into however you want.
I knew this question was probably coming at one point.
I saw your reaction. I knew you had heard that one.
Probably our song "Forever and Always." It's our like only lovey song that we have. I
Yeah.
feel like all of our other songs are just down and like kind of depressing. So yeah, probably "Forever and Always," which might be coming out soon. So we'll save
I'll
that
have
for
to go with
another
that one
time.
too.
There you go with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, what's your reaction when you rewatch this video?
Oh God.
So Ashton's reaction when I ask a question is to look up at the sky, and yours.
Mine's just. I'm like, oh no.
That's just my thinking face.
So I didn't used to do the video. Video started when the pandemic started, when we locked down, and I can't believe that it took that many years before I was like, why don't I do video? Because now I can't imagine doing it without it, because seeing the reactions is great.
Man, you might have wanted to take off the video because these two faces aren't the prettiest thing.
Listen, are you looking?
I don't know. Ashton has his Halloween costume on right now.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell.
They just made me think of Scooby-Doo. Okay. Actually, that's another question. I haven't asked that one in forever. So if you were going to guest star in a cartoon, what
Ooh.
cartoon would it be, and which character would play you guys? And this is not my question. This is Christina Santavica, who is from the Shadow Event is her band. She guest hosted one time and asked that question. And I told her that I was going to use it, and I haven't used it in a long time. So Christina Santavica, the Shadow Event, it's her fault.
I think I already have the perfect answer for this, and I don't know if Ashton remembers, but it'd have to be SpongeBob, and I'd be SpongeBob. Ashton would be Squidward, and Ben would be Patrick. And we have a picture of this somewhere. I have it in my camera roll, and it's a picture of like them three. It was like one of the episodes where they're actually like playing in a band, and they both Squidward. I think Squidward and SpongeBob both have guitars, and Patrick has drumsticks, so it matches perfectly. And we edited to where our names are above each of them, and that's been like something that all of our friends know about. So it'd have to be SpongeBob.
That was a quick one.
Yeah.
So Nick's internet is acting up a little bit, but I think it came through enough that everybody could understand what he said. You see his movement too, right, Ashton?
Yeah, he's like a robot right now.
Oh God, is it still like that?
No, it's a little better.
Okay,
that was a little better.
Yeah,
but it came through enough that I think everyone is going to understand that you said SpongeBob and Squidward and Patrick.
Okay,
at least I got that. So hopefully, but I also have headphones on.
Yeah.
All right. So I told you 3 more questions, so I'm going to stick to that. Where can people find you and your music online?
So Facebook, Instagram, soon to be a TikTok, hopefully. All of those are Unwanted Downfall. Well, our Instagram is Unwanted Downfall Official, and that's where we post most of our stuff. And it has our link tree in the bio, which goes to our website, our Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and everything. Our website as well, which is at the bottom, unwanteddownfall.godaddysite.com.
Right here.
Which that has a lot of our information, like which shows that are coming up and everything.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Last question. What's coming up next for Unwanted Downfall?
This Saturday, this everybody watching live, October 29th, this Saturday, we're playing a Halloween show at the Miller's Ninth Hole, I believe it's called. It's
Yeah.
in Uniontown, and we're playing with two bands. I'm not going to say the one's name as it's not the most
I
appropriate
don't think we're
thing on
allowed to
planet
say
Earth.
that name.
Yeah, we'll keep the PG-13 for that one. And this other band, Broom, which I'll give a little story, so I'll be the storyteller this time. For our battle of the bands that we just got second place at, Broom was actually the first place, and so the big running thing is that we've been hyping up is like this show's been planned for months, and now it's like the two winners of the battle of the bands are going to be playing together the very next week. So it's supposed to be a really good show. And after that, November 4th at Black Forge Coffee and McKee's Rocks, playing with some other bands that I honestly haven't heard of. I believe some of them were like Blind Colors, the Maple Leaves, Lila, and I think there was one more. I forget their name, but that'll be a pretty fun show. That one starts around 6:30.
Okay. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting us.
You're welcome. Make sure you check them out at unwanteddownfall.godaddysite.com and the other social media sites that they mentioned just moments ago. Make sure you check us out on the 1st and 15th for 3 questions and a song every Friday for the Pennsylvania Rock Show, and sporadically, supposed to be once a month, Friendly Fire on xrpradio.co.uk, which is a live show where John First Angel and I go and battle against the playlist of a radio station in Scotland, and we put up songs from our music scene up against songs in their music scene, and the chat room votes on which song they like better. And generally, it's a fun time, and most of the stuff that's said is very, very positive, even for the losing band. The next time we're doing that is November 20th. November 20th, which is a Sunday at like 8 a.m.
Oh, God.
Because it's during their Zerpathon, which is when they're raising money for the radio station, and they're going like 72 hours straight. And that's the only time that fit in my schedule. And I'm going to be at Squirrel Hill Sports Bar the night before for a Neostem CD release, taking photos on my birthday. So I'm spending my birthday taking photos and then getting up at 8 a.m. the next day to do a radio show. So it could get a little squirrely.
Oh, yeah.
With that said, this has been episode number 87 of 3 Questions and a Song. We'll catch you next time. Gentlemen, stick around for a moment. The rest of you, if you're listening to this on buildascene.com or on ruduradio.com, don't go anywhere. You never know. You might hear your next favorite music.